Hey folks, and welcome back to the mountain. So we got to talk a little bit today about these chickens behind me here. As you can see, they've been growing quite well. They're about 2 weeks old now, and it's time to think about moving them outside. As you can see, their feathers are coming in great. They're getting really big. So we're going to have to go ahead and start thinking about building some chicken tractors for them, and that's what we're going to do today. To get them outside, we got to build them tractors. The first thing we got to do is get some lumber. So we're going to the lumber yard. I happen to know where there's one pretty close by. And here we are at the lumber yard. Alright folks, we got our lumber, we got our saw set up. What we're going to do, we're going to make the bases for them. And these are going to be very simple chicken tractors. This is not my idea, folks. I got this idea from Kevin on Living Traditions Homestead. He's got a lot of great ideas. They have a huge channel. They're out somewhere in Missouri. So I got this idea from him. It's very simple. We're doing it this way this year to see if this is something that we want to keep on doing with chickens. So having said that, let's get started. So as everybody knows, with my rough cut lumber, we have to trim off. We got to square off one end. And then we're going to make these 8 feet long. So we're making 2 tractors, so I got to cut 4 of these 8 feet long. So there's our 4 8-footers. Now for the ends, we're going to do those at 5 feet. So remember, these are the ones I cut the other day at 6 feet. So now we can go ahead and trim them down. Right, so now that we're done with those, we're going to go ahead and make our boxes. So these are going to be really simple, real simple boxes. They're going to be 8 feet. just going to put our 5-footers over the ends like that and screw them together. And that's going to be it. So we'll just take our trusty DeWalt saw drill, and we're going to screw these together. So the other thing I want to do, I want to gusset up the corners a little bit, give them a little bit of strength. Alright, so now that we have those cut up, we're going to square this up a little bit, and then we're going to go ahead and put them gussets on the corners to strengthen this up a little bit. It's at 116. Just shy of 116. Alright, 116 1/4. 116 1/4. I really don't think the chickens are going to mind if it's off a little bit. Just a guess. So we're going to go ahead and take 4 of these and put them on the corners. Screw them in. Alright, so now we're just going to make 1 more of these, and then it'll be time to put the caging on. So it may not be real hot today, but it's muggy, so I'm kind of sweating a bit. Whew. Okay, now we have our 2 frames built. I'll show you. So they should be a lot stronger now with those gussets there. And that's how we're going to keep them, is like that. It'll probably help to drag them too. So let's turn this one over. Okay, there we go. So next, what we got to do, I have some cattle panels I'm going to bring over. We're going to cut those and put them in here. All right, this, my friends, is a cattle panel. They come 50 inches tall and 16 feet wide. What we're going to do is we're going to cut this puppy in half at 8 feet. So the only problem I foresee with that is at 8 feet is this bar. So that's only going to be able to be on one side, not the other. Alright, get that off my foot. So now the fun part is getting this cattle panel inside of this. Whew. So we're going to put it inside here. Then we're going to fold it. Not fold it, but roll it down, bend it, So it kind of forms a half circle over this thing. Kind of looking like a covered wagon type of dealie. Like that. Okay? And then, we got to go get some staples and nail it down. So what I have are these fencing staples. I've used these before on the fence out back for the goats. And we're going to use them to hold it onto these 2x onto this frame. Maybe. You know what? I think we can just bring that up like that. And just put that right there. All right. So far, I've got one hoop on each one. I got the second cattle panel out. I've cut that in half. Now, the way I've attached these is I've used those, I already showed you, I used the fence staples that you pound in. So I got them along the edge here. Now where I cut it, and because I had to cut it along here, so the bar is only on one side, not on both. So I cut it like here, so this part sticks out. So what I did for that is I just stapled it to the inside of the 2x like that all the way down. And that'll hold that. So now I've got the other pieces cut, and I just have to drape them over. They will overhang a few inches or so, and that's okay. So let's go ahead and get those on. So there we got all 4 hoops on. So the next stage is we're going to have to cover these with chicken wire. So I got to go get that now. All right, folks. People that know me know a few things about me. One is I'm not really lazy, but also I don't like to do work that I don't have to do either. So I've seen a couple different ways of doing this, putting chicken wire over this. The reason for the chicken wire is these holes are kind of big in the cattle panels, and we don't want other critters to be able to get in and get a hold of our chickens. So we got to cover it with chicken wire. So I've got this chicken wire left over from something else we did, namely the chicken coop over the winter, the chicken run. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover it like this. And then I'm just going to take these strips here, some old batten strips, and I'm just going to put it down along there and staple the chicken wire to it. So I've got one side down as far as it needs to be, and we'll go ahead and cut this side. All right, so now we're going to staple this in and make sure it all kind of stays in place. It pretty much does. So now, instead of just stapling the whole thing, we're just going to nail it in with a batten strip. That'll hold it all in nicely for us. There we go. And the same thing on the other side. All right, folks, so what I've done, I didn't show you the doors. I made the doors, I made one on each end. It's more cattle panel wrapped in chicken wire, and I just got it tie wrapped up. Now, it wasn't quite wide enough, so I did have to cut some blocks to fill in the gaps here, but that was no big deal. So the next thing we're going to do is cover it in a tarp. Now, so come on over, take a look. What we have is just a regular tarp covered in ants. And what we're going to do, we're going to screw this down to the wood. This is a 7x9 tarp. So we're going to go ahead and screw this down. So what I've done is I got this little 1x here, and all I did was I drilled a hole every foot, like a pilot hole for my screws, and now I'm just going to screw it in. And what the tarp does is it gives the chickens a place to get out of the sun and to get out of the rain if it rains, just get out of the weather in general. You don't have to do this. I was looking for some big washers to put around my screws and then just drive the tarp in that way, but I didn't have any, so I just took a 1x that I happen to have. Now, I've been telling you guys all along, get your own sawmill. That way, you got plenty of lumber lying around. You got a lumber yard. you can do whatever you want. So I just happen to have some 1-bys I had to cut and wasn't using for anything, so this is what I'm using them for. And of course you drill pilot holes when you got just a 1-inch wide piece of wood, because otherwise you're going to split it. So now we'll go do the other side. Same thing with this one, just a 1-by. I drilled holes every foot. I'm going to try to pull the tarp a little tight so it doesn't blow around too much. So there you go, 1 chicken track. Come on over, take a look. So it's a pretty simple design. We'll still be putting a rope on the front so we can pull it. And where'd it go? Where'd the chicken tractor go? Oh, it's camouflage. So don't use a camouflage tarp because you'll lose it. So that's it. In the next exciting episode, you will see us make feeders, waterers, and putting the chickens in the tractor. Don't forget, do not miss it. Same bat time, same bat channel. Seriously though, folks, that's it from the mountain for today. If you like our videos, subscribe, ring the notification bell, give us a thumbs up, tell your friends and your neighbors, and as always, God bless.